The Guinness Book of World Records lists this woman as the first woman in history to start with nothing and earn her own $1 million fortune. Her name was Madam C.J. Walker, and this is her story.
My hair is thank you, don't you? You can't comb it, don't you try.
She didn't know anything about black is beautiful. But if it came right down to it, what she did was make it beautiful.
Just like Coca-Cola, nappy, that's the reason why.
At that time, Madam Walker's name was known all over the South. It wasn't a creek, a puddle, a river, or nothing. If there was one Negro there, they knew about Madam Walker.
Straightening or burning makes no difference, I don't care.
It was quite an important thing to black women, particularly, and I think really in the history of the whole women's movement, very important to all women in the country.
Gotta smooth these knots out, got to be an Indian queen.
The Nappy-Headed Blues, as the song is entitled, reflected an attitude shared by many black Americans at the turn of the century. According to the song, my hair is can't you, don't you? You can't comb it, don't you try. Nappy, that's the reason why.
That's crazy. You had a song called Nappy Head Blues. That's crazy. Nappy Head Blues. I can't comb it. That's funny as shit.
In those days, nappy hair was considered a problem by just about everyone, except Madam C.J. Walker. She was born Sarah Breedlove in 1867 to slaves newly freed by the Civil War.
Damn, she was born as slaves, well, free slaves. So even if you was free, you was really starting from dirt bottom and shit. You know what I'm saying? Even though you was so-called free.
Cabin in Delta, Louisiana. Married at 14, widowed with a daughter, Alelia, at 20.
Wait.
She had little other.
Married at 14. What? So she got married at 14 years old? How the hell they even do that?
Than her dreams. Dreams, she said,
Where's
of a
this at?
magic formula that would solve those nappy-headed blues. For Madam C.J. Walker, these nappy heads would become her fortune, although she began with only $2 and a dream.
Hey.
Run to Madam Walker, win a $50 bill.
That's crazy how you have a song called Nappy Head Blues. That's crazy. And then Shorty turned all that into a $1 million. She broke the Guinness Book of World Records. The first black woman millionaire.
Run to Madam Walker, win a $50 bill.
Right, nice back then. What?
Give me some for me. Help a poor girl if you will.
I don't know how I could picture to you how unruly colored people's hair was. You didn't have to do anything to it to make it unruly. It was just born like that. If a person had a dream in order to make a product, it was just as much a miracle as anything else.
Madam Walker was working for Schultz. He was a wholesale druggist in Denver. And she was making extra money on the side selling Madame Porot's work. He saw it one day and asked her what it was. And she told him, and he said,
it was just as much a mirror.
Walker was working for Schultz. He was a wholesale druggist in Denver. And she was making extra money on the side selling Madame Porot.
Selling what? For good hair food made only by knowledge to be the very best hair preparations on the market, being one of the remedies for all quality hairs.
Porot's work. He saw it one day and asked her what it was. And she told him, and he says, I can analyze this for you, and you can leave out some or put in more, and you can make the money yourself. So she got a can of it and handed it to him and gave him, and he did just that. And that is how she really got her start with this growing of hair.
However,
It's crazy. Madam C.J. Walker. It's like 1900, black woman, trademark. One for hair growth. Like she way ahead of her time.
Madam Walker came upon her dream, her formula was a success. By 1910, she was able to set up shop in this small
1910.
factory in Indianapolis. Madam Walker recommended a system of hair care, washing and oiling the scalp with her preparation, then pressing the hair with her newly designed hot comb.
Oh, no. Don't tell me she did that, started the hot comb for us black women.
All of us marvel to think that she says she had a dream to make this preparation. And she made the preparation, then a dream to use a hot comb, and even dreamed how to make the comb and the product.
Crazy. Hold on. Let me stop right here for a minute. That's just crazy. She thought of the hot. First of all, this is only a black woman can think of this, first of all. There's nowhere white woman on earth was thinking about something to straighten out your head. You know what I'm saying? So that's just crazy. Not only to think of that, to produce it yourself. Yikes. Man. I mean, when I went to barber school, you know what I'm saying? When you start getting in the hair, or if you're a hairdresser or a stylist, once you get in the hair, once I got in the hair, I started like researching a lot of stuff. And I kept running into C.J. Walker when she was first black woman millionaire. But I never really got into her story, you know what I'm saying? But as I'm watching the story now, it's like, man, she was way ahead of her time, man. She started a hot comb. What made her even think of first the hot comb and then produce it and make it herself, manufacture that joint? That's just like that. So we talking about 1900s, before the 1900s. That's just like that. Then she got a whole system where she washed, dry, press, and used the hot comb. And back then, of course, she had to be getting paid because that is like way ahead of her time when she got a hot comb. That's just crazy.
That's the procedure. It was a godsend for the colored race.
I had a beauty shop from 1906 to 1946.
Damn.
I had a white shop. The banker's wife, the mayor's wife, and everybody that was anybody came to my shop. Madam Walker, to my idea, was something that a person could. You'd have to honor her for what she had done. She had taught us how to take care of our hair. Because I couldn't even do my own hair. I had to go to one of Madam Walker's graduates to have my own hair done.
Dang. Oh my God, man. This shit is real fucking interesting. All right, first of all, she started her joint with the hair pressing, first of all. So she had for school. So the only people that know how to do this hair press thing that she invented is people that go through her school. It's just sick. It's just sick, yo. We're talking about hair and toilet. Look at this shit. She's selling hair and toilet preparations. Really? There's no need to worry about the hair and skin. Whew. Man, you can't. Like the lady said, you gotta respect. I mean, she's not just in the industry. She shaping it while she did. You know what I'm saying?
There were 10 million black people living in the United States in 1912. Madam's dream was able to grow. She broadened her product line to include face powder, skin brightener, soap, hair coloring, glossine, even pomade for men.
Wait, see? What? She did what? Pomade.
Madam Walker's graduates to have
Skin brightener, soap,
Skin brightener. Oh,
hair
that's
coloring.
what I thought I saw. Skin brightener.
There were 10 million black people living in the United States in 1912. Madam's dream was able to grow. She broadened her product line to include face powder.
Face powder. Madam Walker's face powder. Oh my God.
Skin brightener.
Skin brightener. What is skin brightener? So you mean this brightening the skin for black people been an issue? Skin brightening. I didn't know that was a thing. 35 cents. That's crazy. But I didn't even know skin brightener. That's just, and then C.J. Walker. That's just crazy. That's just crazy.
Soap, hair coloring.
Soap, liquid hair color, which would be dye. Back then, this is exactly how it would look too. Damn. Colors. Let me see what this say. It says color instantly. Leaves the hair soft and glossy. Black, jet black, dark brown, and medium brown. $1.25. Dang.
Glossine.
Glossine. Oh, yeah. Damn. Excellent hair dressing. I mean, you cannot, I mean, the corner, you talking about corner in the market. Jeez. Hairdressing. Oh, God. I mean, you gotta say, not only, man, she bad as shit.
Even pomade for men.
Now look at this bullshit. Pomade for men. You can't tell me she can make a whole fucking killing off that. Back then, black men was wearing pomade like a mother. Dang.
Eventually, 23 products shared the Walker label.
23 products. Man, it's crazy how we don't hear too much about her, yeah? Like, how can you have 23 products in 1900? And we never hear about this black woman. That's just crazy. This not even just hair no more. It's like, it's beyond hair. It's like, she black history. You need to talk about her a lot. You need to start putting her in the books.
In 1915, Madam Walker began a visual presentation in churches using these hand-colored glass slides to show the progress and development of the Walker Company. The factory staff, the office staff. This slide shows F.B. Ransom, Esquire, hired by Madam in 1910 as the company's attorney and general manager. He was to be an important part of the Walker Company until his death in 1947. The presentation included a slide of the company's newly acquired delivery truck, Madam's Indianapolis home, and even pointed out the progress made by blacks.
Preservation, health preservation. Negro physicians
In the country.
Oh. Back to that. First of all, I love the fact that we was called Negroes. So we're talking Negro physicians. This is under her watch. This is because of things that she built on her own, with her own two hands. 4,000 more Negro physicians. Dentists, 800. Pharmacists, 600. 750 drugstores. 250 hospitals and sanitariums. Wow. Trained and practiced nurses, 23,000 black people that this lady, wow. Man, I should have my son do her on, man, Black History Month. Damn. This is so serious. She's serious. This is serious. Man, why nobody talk about her? Even people in the hair industry don't talk about her too much. It's crazy.
Madam Walker traveled tirelessly around the country. Soon.
What? And she traveled. How'd she do that? In 1900. Wait.
Soon Walker products were selling throughout the United States and the world.
There was an open market in all the West Indies and the European countries because there was no one there at that time dressing colored people's hair. And that unruly hair was over in all those countries.
Unruly
just like
hair.
it was here in America.
MADDAM C.J. Walker. Man, I just love seeing old pictures of black people, man. I just love this shit. It just give me goosebumps, man. Especially when they just living good like that with their feathers in their heads and shit. It's just like, man, I love that shit.
Madam's determination, coupled with the company's innovative advertising, brought quick and great rewards.
Look at this. Look at this billboard. Man, I'm confused why I don't hear too much about her. It's starting to really trip me out about this.
I heard that Madam Walker was making lots of money. That Madam Walker was putting a lot of personal effort in it. That she was visiting the homes and hometowns of Negro women, and that they were flocking towards her. She endeavored to get the preachers on her side. Them preachers would tell the Negroes back in the towns where they come from what a wonderful thing this here black queen done got. And them black women would buy that stuff so fast that like leaves falling off a tree.
Madam Walker was making $1,000 a day.
Stop. Now, this is the lady that kept all the books, the secretary. Now, if we're looking at 1900 and when is this? 1910. And she making $1,000 a day. That's fucking crazy.
And if it went to 900 today, tomorrow it'd be 1,100. Never less than $1,000 a day, and that was week in and week out for I don't know how many years, but for a long, long time. And at that time, there was no tax taken out of it.
Madam Walker came here one time and talked at the college.
There wasn't no tax taken out of it. Did she say there wasn't no tax taken out of it?
And if it went to 900 today, tomorrow it'd be 1,100. Never less than $1,000 a day, and that was week in and week out for I don't know how many years, but for a long, long time. And at that time, there was no tax taken out of it.
Wow, no
Madam
tax.
Walker came here one
$1,000
time
a day and
and
no
talked at the
taxes
college.
taken out of it.
And I recall, I love the way her mannerism
Wait, first of all,
got me. I knew
$1,000 a day is a lot of fucking money right now in 2021 a day. All right, $1,000 a day is the same as what today? Like if you make $1,000 a day in 1910, $1,000 a day in 1910, right? Equivalent of that is 2021 will be what? That's crazy. Are you serious? $1,000 a day and no taxes coming up. That's $30 a month. I mean, that's a lot of money today. Yeah. Damn.
she was a great woman. And we looked upon her as a great woman. And I recall after she had been introduced and walked to the platform, she took off a floor-length mink coat. And she didn't pull it off until after the applause. And she attempted to lay it on a chair. And it fell to the floor. And someone ran to pick it up. And she said, "That's all." See, a mink coat falling on the floor to Madam Walker didn't matter.
Now I'm a brown girl. Brown girl. Making my life just a bubble.
Uh-oh. Finger wave alert. That's crazy. When I was in barber school, a stylist teacher I used to hang around a lot because she was a barber too. She not do both. She's a master barber and a stylist. So she showed me how to do the finger waves. I can do these joints. These nice right here. She even got her joint slayed on the side, nigga. This shit slayed right here. 1910. Y'all ain't thinking of nothing in 2021. Y'all think y'all doing something. This shit been done. Look. Her baby head slayed, nigga. What's wrong with y'all? Them baby head slayed on that joint. That joint real. And Walker ain't playing with y'all. Look at that shit. Slayed 1910.
Not even taking the trouble to even blow
This is style.
the bubbles away.
Madam had an ironclad rule. None of her army of saleswomen were allowed to use the word straightener.
Why not? Before she answered that, let me try to figure out why was she wanting. Okay, they black. You wouldn't want them to be saying straightening their hair. You know, like you want to be white or something. Or don't use the word straightener because it's not what she want people to think is being done. She don't want that word to be the word people thinking of. Or why wouldn't she want them to say straightening? Let's see.
and it never appeared in any Walker ads or on any Walker product. But Madam Walker has been called the hair straightening queen, a hypocrite, imposing Caucasian standards of beauty on the black women of America.
Ah, see. I knew it was coming. Here he comes. Okay. That's why. Yeah, it's basically what I said. So now she getting a wrath of people thinking she want to make black people wear white people style hairs.
America.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Nice right here. Nice. Nice for 1910. I can't lie. Look at this here. Nice framed on her head. Nice. You can't even ask for, I mean, it's perfect shape. On her head, nice. I mean, she got a perfectly round face. But, dang.
Sun has had my skin.
The popular belief that Madam Walker only was out there selling hair grease to straighten black hair to make them look more white is totally false.
It was a method to beautify rather than to be thinking turning somebody white or making them look like white. That was never Madam Walker's idea.
See, she gave the women pretty hair. That enhanced their condition, their look. She wasn't trying to make them look white. She wasn't trying to make the hair look like white hair. She was trying to make the hair improve the appearance of her people.
And plus, and like they was calling it nappy hair blues. At the time, it wasn't a whole lot of things that, like Madam Walker was inventing stuff at the time, but it wasn't a whole lot of things to entangle, to loosen up black girls' hair. So that's part of the problem right there. That's why. So of course, when she invented the hot comb, it makes it so now you can do a lot of different things with the hair. So obviously a black woman would like that because now they don't have to do two or three certain things in this bush. They can do multiple things now if you straighten it out.
Just a bubble, not even taking the trouble.
You got to love the finger rolls though.
Even blow bubbles away.
I mean finger waves.
Beautiful. Just beautiful. Now, when I say beautiful, I don't mean beautiful in features. I mean beautiful in her ways. A very interesting woman to be around. And she had known her shortcomings, so she surrounded herself with people of education who could be teaching her every minute. And she was very, very quick to catch on.
The years of Madam's rise to fame and fortune were, for the black masses, years of bitter hardship. Segregation was the law, the way of life. Lynchings, a near daily occurrence.
I'll be telling people, man, like, you can't imagine living in America where they are hanging black people. Where if you get caught at this water fountain, you go to jail. Like, it's like nobody in their 20s or in 30s, right? Or 40s. Can I even imagine walking around in America like that? Motherfuckers right now on cancel things is just ridiculous now. Imagine if you can't go to a water fountain because you're not white. Imagine if you go somewhere and somebody was just lynched the night before. It's just hanging a little banner hanging up saying somebody lynched the night before. It's just, that's it. Like, you just can't imagine that happening right now. So imagine walking in America like that. Dang.
Yet in 1915, the Walker Company proudly announced that Madam C.J. Walker was America's first self-made millionaires.
Yikes. What year was that? 1918?
The years of Madam's rise to fame and fortune were, for the black masses, years of bitter hardship. Segregation was the law, the way of life. Lynchings, a near daily occurrence. Yet in 1915, the Walker Company proudly announced that Madam C.J. Walker was America's first self-made millionaires.
1915. She was a millionaire, a black woman. Millionaire. And nobody here or talks about it. What the hell is that about, man? A millionaire. 1915. Look what's happening. Things getting lynched. Literally lynched. And she becomes a millionaire in the midst of all that. Yikes.
She also became Black America's first philanthropist. At a time when the average income for Black families was $12 a week, she gave freely of her time, prestige, and money. $5,000 to an anti-lynching fund, $5,000 to the...
Just think about that. Everybody give money to charities and stuff, right? Imagine it was a charity called Anti-Lynching Fund.
YMCA, $5,000 to a friend, Mary McLeod Bethune, to help with her school. The Walker Company declared Madam...
Everybody know who she is. Bet you nobody in their right mind knew that Madam C.J. Walker helped her do that. Yikes. Two Black history crossing right there.
Madam C.J. Walker, the greatest benefactress of her race.
I need to get that book. Science. Hold, stop. I need to get this book. The real opportunity for women who wish to become independent. Miss Walker's system. A scientific scalp, right? Scientific scalp treatment. Scientific scalp treatment. And sales of her hair preparations. Now, she used the word preparations a lot. I'll give support to more than 100,000 people in the industry. Come and learn how. You gotta love this shit. I love Black women. You know what I'm saying? So this right here just takes it to another level for me. Just to see and watch this. I love Black history itself. Then I like watching history on top of that. Just this right here is like I'm in La La Land. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Madam Walker believed in Black women and continually strived to instill in them a sense of racial identity and pride. She saw that they were far too reliant on men for survival. Becoming a Walker agent was a step along the road to independence.
Walker agent.
Well, Madam Walker, from all I've heard, was a very shrewd businesswoman. She was also one of the first women lib people. She very much wanted women to become independent, to get outside of the home. And she saw in this business a chance to train women, especially Black women, of course, who at that point in time were the only jobs were domestic jobs.
Walker products manufactured by a predominantly female workforce were not available in stores. In a marketing scheme later used by industry giants like Avon, they were sold door to door by an army of trained agents. Madam offered her agents incentives, bonuses, trips, and conventions. She established a chain of beauty colleges.
A chain of beauty colleges?
Over 50,000 women shared the Walker dream.
Oh my Like, you gotta love her. Like, she is the industry, dog. She even opened up schools.
She gave Black women a sense of pride and self-worth. But just as importantly, she gave them jobs.
All of the Madam C.J. Walker agents had a great love for Madam. They felt she had done something for the race of women. They felt that she had given them an opportunity to make livings for themselves, which were different from the living that most colored women had been able to make. They were in business for themselves. They were doing something. They were making other colored women look beautiful. They loved the company. They kind of glorified Madam C.J. Walker.
Now you mighty like a rose, all dressed up in
Don't know they blocked that shit on YouTube.
of them. Now here's the fix you'll be left in. Yeah, you just the right.
That's how you get in there and wash that thing like that. That's how you wash. Get it in there. Okay. Like that technique.
Places available for Negro girls, except at the Indianapolis Recorder and the Freeman. Both were two Black Negro papers. So we were very fortunate in having employment after Madam Walker Company.
Well, in the first place, it was the only, big organization that Negroes had. And they had a real nice crew that worked in the back in there. And I worked in the same room most of the time, didn't
Yes, we did. And then another thing too, we were thinking about that Madam Walker made that great discovery, and that she was doing so much to help our people and to help our women to look beautiful. And all women like to look beautiful and always look well groomed. And of course, we always we started using the products too in order that we could make ourselves look beautiful too.
Oh, do, but do. They go marching through.
Oh, Friday, Black History.
On parade, parade, parade. Kind of fine.
She just taught Black women to be proud of themselves so that they, in turn, could demand things that they couldn't have gotten otherwise if they didn't have a certain amount of pride attached to them.
I'd love to join the fun.
Madam's lifelong dream of beauty, independence, and self-respect had become a reality. Black was indeed beautiful, and Walker sales continued to grow. While the firm's headquarters remained in Indianapolis, Madam moved east to New York. She decided to build herself a home, and what a home it turned out to be. The Villa Luaro, designed in 1917 by Black architect Bertner Tandy Sr., was the shining proof of the Walker Company's success. Located in suburban Irvington, New York, amid the estates of the Rockefellers and Thomas Edison, the villa made an overwhelming statement that achievement in this society was no longer for whites only.
I have never, even since, seen anything like it. Not even on the tours of some of the castles and things that I had been to. There's never been anything like that. It was just fantastic. It was so beautiful.
Because I've never seen such furniture and tapestry and walls and
every known thing that you'd want was right there. It was gorgeous.
A gold piano, this here beautiful pipe organ.
And every room, music was piped into it, and that was something we didn't have here in this part of it. We didn't know about piped-in music.
It was wonderful. I think must have had around 30 some odd to maybe near to 40 or 50 rooms. Just one room after another, just something like out of a picture book.
Because she's a Negro, they thought she wouldn't keep it up. But when she got rebuilding it, they were as thrilled with it as anybody because it was gorgeous.
I was utterly amazed at what I saw. I was amazed to see Negroes had come from the cotton patch to a magnificent place like Villa Lawaro, across the street from Rockefeller's ancient residence.
Madam Walker built the Villa Lawaro as a symbol of the life that was possible for the new Negro. In her own words, "It is not for me, it is for my people, so that they can see what can be accomplished, no matter what their background is."
I mean, it was just something. That life was a life. It was the beautiful life for the beautiful people. It was every bit of that.
The years of hard work and dedication to her company and her people were exhausting for Madam Walker. By 1918, her health was failing. Time once spent traveling for the Walker Company was now spent convalescing at the Villa Lawaro. On May 25th, 1919, Madam C.J. Walker passed away. She was 52 years old. This song was written in her memory. Madam's last will and testament reflected her conviction. 2/3 of the company's profits must always go to charity. The company's leader must always be a woman, and the bulk of her personal fortune would be bequeathed to her only child.
Charity, the leader have to be a woman. It's crazy.
37-year-old Aurelia. As a monument to Madam's dream, the company erected the Walker Building in Indianapolis.
The Walker Building was a fulfillment of Madam C.J.
1915.
Walker's dream. She had always wanted to build the building, and after
1915, they declared her a millionaire. She dies in 1919, so 4 years of being a millionaire. Dang.
In a little factory down the street from her home, finally, and then to build this great flat iron building, a city block on one street, a block and a half on another, shaped like a flat iron. You don't know what a flat iron is, but it was
You know?
the way they used to iron clothes. To see that building 4 stories high and the elevator, all that was new to us.
Grandma had flat.
The Walker Building opened with fanfare on the eve of the Great Depression. The company produced this film to showcase its accomplishments. It replaced the slide presentation and was shown in black churches, meeting halls, and theaters throughout the country. The film gave a complete picture of the Walker daily operation. The workers arrive in the morning. The hand packing of Walker products begins. An order is brought by F.B. Ransom to the forelady of the factory. The order is packed for shipping. It is checked one last time before going out. And then it is loaded onto the Walker truck for delivery. The Walker Building was more than just a factory. It served Black Indianapolis as a shopping mall. At the barbershop, the gents could get a haircut and the ladies could get a manicure.
Way before her time.
At the tailor, the family could have their clothes made or altered. The shoeshine parlor was always a step ahead of the latest news. A well-stocked grocery store was available,
Damn.
as was a grand ballroom that doubled as a meeting hall.
Damn. National Negro Business League.
In the Walker Building, black residents of Indianapolis could find their own doctors, dentists, drugstore, fine restaurant, and, of course, a beauty salon specializing in the Walker system of beauty. For black Indianapolis, the Walker Building was a mecca, a source of jobs, a source of pleasure, a source of pride.
Nothing like that had ever been in Indianapolis.
So far, I'm stunned that C.J. Walker is not talked about as much at all, literally. She's not talked about when you talk about black history, not talked about literally as a businesswoman, not talked about as making up some of this stuff that people use her. They like the black iron current, the hot curls. I mean, hot irons. Like, what the? I didn't know she made that up. That's crazy. Now, all black women use those joints to straighten their hair out, the hot comb. I didn't know she had nothing to do with that. It's like everybody know about the hot comb, but nobody say C.J. Walker, MADDAM C.J. Walker. It's like I'm confused on why she not talked about. Period. Like I mean, she responsible for a lot of shit going on back then. Like jobs, making up pomades, starting the hot comb. It's like a lot she doing, and nobody talked about her a lot. I don't understand why.
No one had ever had built a building. Of all the people in Indianapolis who were supposed to have so much money, none of them had ever built anything, maybe a little house and 2 or 3 outhouses. That's about all. But this was a gorgeous thing. Oh, it was something. And then they had the drugstore, and then you had the coffee pot. That's where you went downstairs and had your coffee. And you met there on Sundays and after church, and any time in the week. If you couldn't find anybody, go down to the coffee pot and you'd find them. And that went for older people as well as younger people. It was a lovely meeting place.
And they had this beautiful ballroom with the crystal ball. Remember that?
Oh yeah, I do, because we had some happy day nights there. And we attended the dances and like that. It was very fantastic.
And we had a beautiful pipe organ too in the theater. And it was really the only place that people went.
The coffee pot was cozy, the ballroom was grand, but the showplace of the Walker Building was its theater.
The Walker Building.
MADDAM had sued a local Indianapolis theater over its segregated admissions policy. The Walker Theater would have made the ladies smile.
I'm sitting in the Walker Theater at this time. I recall the opening date, December 1928, when I was employed as head usher. The opening date was a gala event. The whole town turned out. It was a night to be remembered in Indianapolis. The theater was definitely a showplace. It was the first Negro constructed, owned, and operated new theater for Negroes in the United States. All other theaters in Indianapolis at the time, and I suppose Indiana, were segregated.
The place of the Walker Building.
Oh, by the way, that wasn't no problem.
And I think in Black America is unparalleled. The fact is that at that point in time, the blacks could not go to the movies in Indianapolis. They could not go to white hotels. They could not go to dance halls. Doctors, physicians, dentists, lawyers were having problems getting offices. And the building really fulfilled a great need.
When I first came here in 1911, you could go to the moving picture shows. And they began to put signs in the windows. colored trade not solicited. And you could not go to a moving picture house unless you passed. Now, we had the English theater here, which brought in the legitimate shows. And the Negroes had to sit on the last 2 rows of the balcony or up in the gallery. Orpheum Theater was the same thing. You couldn't go to Lowe's Theater at all. And that was Indianapolis. I mean, you couldn't go in there unless you passed for white because there was no place in Lowe's for Negroes. You couldn't eat in the 5 and 10 cent store to sit down and eat in the 5-cent store. You couldn't get a ice cream soda downtown in a drugstore.
Damn, that's the only thing that blows me. When I start hearing how that shit is, man, back then, man, that's the worst, man. That shit's just fucking crazy.
But the Walker Building changed that. Now, blacks in Indianapolis had their own soda fountain in the same building with their own theater. The Walker Theater presented vaudeville shows, and with the arrival of the talkies, first-run films. Some were quite a change from the studio's usual lily white production.
Some black pictures were shown at the theater. I believe most of the black pictures that were produced in the United States, those pictures were completely black, produced, and acted. I think black people were happy to see black people on the screen, happy to see black people producing pictures, happy to see themselves portrayed in motion picture.
I am confessing, got that gambling craze. Will I learn my lesson? Oh, I'll be broke for 30 days. I can't trust at the store. I was busting in my store.
By the time of the Walker Building's dedication, daughter Aurelia had moved to New York. Little Naptown could not contain her dynamic spirit. Neither, as it turned out, could big New York. Aurelia Walker was the embodiment of an unrealized fantasy in Black America. She was one of the first blacks in the United States to inherit indisputable wealth. She followed not an uncommon tradition among America's moneyed families. The first generation earns, the second generation spends.
Aurelia, the daughter, Madam Walker's daughter, was young. She'd had everything at her fingertips. She was bound to be different. She couldn't have been just like Madam Walker. Madam Walker came from scratch with an idea and a dream and all of that. She worked her way up. Aurelia was given everything, every opportunity. You wouldn't expect her to be like her mother in that respect.
I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. Got the string around my finger. What a life.
Now I'm starting to get a feel for why it's not still around and why we don't hear about it. The daughter done fucked everything up.
What a world.
Alelia's personality was absolutely fantastic. She could make friends with anybody. She had that happy faculty. Her mother was a little reticent, but Lelia was just outgoing. From the minute that you
And when they saw Aurelia Walker come, they fell back to let the famous Aurelia Walker with her party come in. Later on, I heard that they wasn't particular about serving black. But to them, Lily Walker wasn't no black. Lily Walker was a black
Green.
princess, huh?
She was green.
She was a royal black son of a gun. That's what she was like. She was royal. Royal and skank.
She was married and divorced 3 times. She drove in the grandest cars, drank the finest champagne. She was surrounded by the best and the brightest of her era. In a jazz-age Harlem filled with fabulous characters, A'Lelia Walker was the most fabulous of them all. She was Black society's reigning queen, and whatever she did was front-page news.
Everything that she did was duly noted in the black press. She was a glamorous individual to many people, and also happened to have given the company millions of dollars worth of publicity. Lee Walker was excellent for the Walker Company.
So obviously the daughter didn't have that.
The Roaring Twenties smoked through Harlem. A'Lelia Walker's extravagance was a major part of the Harlem mystique.
See, it's obviously that the daughter wasn't about hair. She was about the glamour side. That's the problem here.
Dynamic, talented generation of Black creative artists. History calls what resulted the Harlem Renaissance.
Go Harlem, go Harlem, go Harlem, go Harlem. Here's how, get rhythm, get rhythm, get rhythm, get rhythm. Start now, laugh, 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 laugh your cares away. Sing, 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 we're gonna turn your work to play. Go Harlem, go Harlem, go Harlem, go Harlem, go.
The Mexican-born painter Miguel Covarrubias captured the spirit of Harlem nightlife in these drawings.
Go Harlem, go Harlem, go Harlem, start right now.
A'Lelia opened her own little night spot. She called it the Dark Tower. It was a hangout for artists and those who respected their talents. Langston Hughes, Countee Cullen, Zora Neale Hurston, Claude McKay, all left a mark on this nation's literary landscape. They were all Dark Tower regulars and benefited from A'Lelia Walker's wide social circle.
After she got the Dark Towers, then that was kind of a hangout. Everybody tried to go to Dark Towers on Sunday night to be up there and see who was out and see who wasn't out and see who was in and so forth. And it was quite interesting. And it was a place where people knew that they could meet. If they had strangers in town, they'd take them to the Dark Towers so they'd be sure to meet all of the celebrities of the city because they would be there. And that would be white and black. It wasn't just only Negroes.
Monday through Saturday, A'Lelia reigned in Harlem. Sunday, though, was not a day of rest. Her non-stop party moved to the outskirts of town, the Villa Luaro. Riffs from Armstrong and Ellington gave way to the harmonies of Schubert, Brahms, and Chopin.
A'Lelia was considered the leader of Negro society. And on Sunday afternoon, she was famous for her musicale. She would pick out the outstanding talent among our people to present to not only our people, but to the elite of the other race. They looked forward to coming to Lee Walker's musicale.
The musicians were Black, talented, and unknown. The guests were mostly white, either rich, influential, or both, such as critic Carl Van Vechten.
and the name of Carl Van Vechten, naturally, that really carried all the weight in the world because he was the most outstanding music critic in New York City.
It's like Mom busted her ass to build a fortune, an empire. She was inventive. She went around the country trying to promote this thing for years and years. She built this massive company. Became the first black woman to first black woman ever to be a millionaire. And her daughter does nothing but party after she died. Nothing. Don't do nothing else with the hair empire that could soon be a billionaire type. Yeah.
And he made it his business to be there. He was interested to see what the Negroes really had to offer in the field of art. And I think that was her main purpose, to inform them what we are and what we do and what we stand for.
But if Aurelia had fame, fortune, and influence, love seemed destined to elude her forever. Her marriages were stormy, her divorces bitter, and she was childless. It appeared the Walker dynasty would end with her.
Ouch.
Until Mae Bryant came into Aurelia's life.
Aaliyah Walker met Mae Bryant on one of her business trips to Indianapolis. And Mae was working in the factory of the Walker Company. Aaliyah first noticed her because Mae had such a beautiful head of hair. It had very, very long hair. And it came down to her waist.
Mae was darker than a woman who had hair like Mae usually was. Mae had long hair, and they were trying to sell hair goods.
And they used Mae for ads at first, just the back of her head, really, just the hair. So they became friendlier and friendlier, and she felt that she could help this girl, and she adopted Mae.
And they used Mae as a front by saying that their goods grew Mae's hair. And Aaliyah used that, as I view it, to advance their economic progress. My impression of Mae was that she was an adopted Cinderella. Cinderella came into great luxury and so forth from nowhere.
Heaven, 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 heaven. I don't need golden wings or none of those things. Cause part of heaven to me.
The tabloids called it the $1 Million Wedding. They weren't far off the mark. Mae Bryant, the shy, young Walker heiress, became the bride of Gordon Jackson, a doctor from Chicago. It turned out to be a match made somewhere other than heaven, but the spectacle captured the attention of the nation.
I was a flower girl in the so-called $1 Million
She let that
Wedding.
whole empire
Took place in 1923. The wedding was
Manager, still in Indianapolis, had sounded early alarms. Aurelia turned them off.
Oh, she was a spendthrift. Money was only made to be spent as far as she was concerned. And she spent it like a drunken sailor. She spent it. She had it, she spent it.
Their fortune was definitely on the way down. In the first place, there was too much money paid out at the top for salaries and so forth. Too much money that was put out for Aurelia Walker's expenses. The Villa Laurel actually cost them $500,000 or $600,000, together with the fact that Aurelia was spending so much money at the same time.
In 1928, Aurelia was forced to close the Dark Tower, giving this notice.
Dear members and friends, having no talent or gift, but a love and keen appreciation for art, the Dark Tower was my contribution. But due to the slothfulness on the part of the members to make use of the Dark Tower,
Huh?
It will be closed November 1st as a private institution, but available to rent for private parties such as luncheons, teas, card parties, and receptions. I cannot tell you how sorry I am for this. Sincerely, Alelia Walker.
2 years later, Alelia was forced to put her beloved Villa Luaro on the block. The furnishings were sold at a public auction. It lured crowds of the curious to Irvington, black and white. Most came just to gawk. The villa's contents, purchased by the Walkers for a small fortune, sold for almost nothing. Symbolically, the auction was a body blow to the Walker Company's image and prestige.
I think Lelia, through the years, had become quite willful, and she hardly listened to anybody. She liked to eat. She loved to eat. I can remember coming in the house, and the first thing she had to holler and ask my mother, "What are you cooking today?" She loved to eat. She liked to party. She liked her friends. And she just did not heed the doctor's warnings.
It is my personal opinion that Alelia knew that her fortune was declining and that she no longer would be in the ascendancy, that she didn't care really if she lived or died, but that she was going to live in luxury as long as she lived, and she went there and she ate too much and drank too much, and she knew it, and the doctor had told her to be careful, and she didn't be careful, and I believe it knocked Alelia out because Alelia wanted to be knocked out.
What?
In 1931, Harlem buried Alelia Walker like the Black Queen that she had been. Adam Clayton Powell Sr. performed the services. Langston Hughes read the eulogy, and the four bonbons provided the music.
Well, I think we were the only musical organization that was represented, and we did. I think this is one of her favorites, Leah's favorites. "I'll Be Seeing You" by Noel Coward.
It seems as though we gave up. We gave up and just our restaurants. We had restaurants, inns, and when we could go to their inns, then we forgot that man. In fact, I've had friends to call colored restaurants. The one that I'd go to this evening, if I was taking you all for dinner, I'd go to it. They call it the Greasy Spoon now. They can't to. I don't understand us. That's the part I don't understand. We don't have enough race pride. That's what I see.
Mm.
Ambition and courage, $2 and a dream. The Walker story is a remarkable example of American achievement. And although in time some of Madam's dreams were crushed, she would not have mourned for long. Madam C.J. Walker, a great student of experience, would have dreamed another, and she would have made it work.
That's some crazy shit. Some wild shit right there. How she went from $2, right? $2 and an idea. She had a passion for hair, and she wanted to expand the hair industry for black people. I mean, the fact that people don't talk about her that much, man, I'm lost. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know too much about her, you know what I'm saying, till now. You know what I'm saying? I've been reading up on her. Ever since I've been in the hair industry, you know what I'm saying, I've been, you know what I'm saying, going into the history of it, you know. So I've been cutting nails for like 6 years. So ever since I've been out of school about 5 years ago, so this is what I've been doing, you know, just trying. But CJ Walker is somebody that kept coming up. I never really delved into who she was. But the fact she came up with the hot comb, you know what I'm saying, and manufactured and produced that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? She had pomades for men. She just had the whole nine, man. It's like crazy. You just can't. That's crazy for a black woman, man. And I love black women. So CJ Walker, That's what's up, man. The first black millionaire. Hey, that's my first time getting to her story, so I like what I was hearing. I don't like the fact that the daughter blew the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it is. That's why I'm one of the people that don't even be trying to leave a whole bunch of money. You gotta let them do whatever they're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So she did all that $2 and turned into a millionaire. Crazy. Black. While everybody getting lynched, everything segregated, and she still became a millionaire. Crazy. You gotta like that shit. You got to. 3, 2.